Good morning. So this video is about when you know that you've made a choice to move forward and things have been aligning for you, new opportunities have been opened, and you're steady and just rebuilding yourself. And it could be after you left a relationship, after you left a job, after you made a decision and stood in your boundary lines with family members that you were no longer going to allow them to gaslight you and treat you a certain kind of way, right? Because you understand that you deserve better, and you understand that you do have value and worth. And there's always this undercurrent in that cycle when people realize that you are standing on business on what you have spoken and said, and they want to act amazed, like they don't know you, or that it's just a facade or a mask that you're wearing. And yet these very same people are the ones who spoke such vile things about you, that you were a thief, that you were a liar, and all of it was done to cover up what they were doing to you, so that in their deluded minds, if you didn't recognize what they knew that they were doing, even though unbeknownst to them, everyone around you recognized what was going on, and you finally, said, yes, this is happening. This is not just happenstance that my business is failing. This is not just happenstance that they keep getting sick every time, something goes good for me, because they can't stand the energy and the focus being on you. They can't stand you doing good. But when you finally recognize that that wasn't just a coincidence, and it wasn't just them having an inability to self-regulate their emotions, it was a conscious choice on their part, because they did not want to accept your value and your worth and see you for who you are and how you had impacted their life in a good way, because they just wanted to take and take and take from you. There's always this season that's tied to that, where once they realize it, they will come after you full force with their family, and their family will say how bad you were and what an immoral person you are and how they did this and that, and you just sat there and did nothing, knowing that these same people, along with the person you were prior in a relationship with, was abusive to you, narcissistic towards you. When they heard about abuse, oh, if you had called me, I could have stopped it. Okay, so when you found out about it, did you stop it? Did you get that person arrested? No? Okay, then you wouldn't have done anything. That's just a showboat, and it doesn't matter to me. That's a childish drama statement. It has no value, no worth to me, right? And so these people too will also come up and say things, for example, like, oh, he worked so hard and she just sat home and she just did nothing. She just watched videos all day. Not even knowing, and sometimes knowing, all of the hard work that you put in, because the dynamic that you need to recognize in both of those currents and cycles is that narcissism and narcissistic abuse is not just from your partner, it's also from the generational behavior patterns that have been taught as personality, that your partner learned as a personality trait, and it's not. It is a maladaptive behavior that has been reinforced over time and over generations. And when you spot that and you want no part of that, oh, of course you think you're better than them. Because in a sense, you are better than that. You're not willing to stoop to that level. You're willing to communicate clearly and concisely and let what you feel be known. And you will be attacked verbally, physically, even sometimes sexually by these people. You know, you'll have your reputation attacked so that people will begin to be told that you're loose, or that you're a drug addict, or that you're easily replaceable, that you replace people left and right. And in my situation, in my experience, when that happens, rather than getting upset and getting out of your character about it, the best thing to do is to completely disconnect from any of those people, any of the threads that they could even develop to communicate with you, and set the record straight with you verbally. Because ultimately, everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has a right to think whatever they want, whether it is grounded in truth or not. And if you understand that basic principle, then it really doesn't matter what people think. Because if you know the truth, so what? If they think you're a loose moral person, if they call you names, it doesn't matter. You know the truth, and God knows the truth. Life will align for you if you just simply focus on yourself and let their thoughts and their words be their responsibility alone to bear. When it's no longer my responsibility, and I don't have to deal with it, you have to deal with it. Now, where that encroaches on personal safety for you, if you're a woman, is obviously assess the threat of those words. If there's any forward-moving action that stems from those words, then make sure that you make the necessary reports and things of that nature. Like, for example, when I left my ex, I knew at the time his sister was plotting things, and I knew it would be exposed to me. I knew I would receive the full accounting of it by means that I did not ask to receive. And one of the multiple men that she approached, telling them that I was open to them meeting me at 1 and 2 in the morning, which is not the case, actually came and told me that. And further came and told me that she was actively attempting to set me up to be raped. Not only do I find that absolutely disgusting, there's no day on this earth that I would ever get mad enough at another woman that I would seek to have them sexually assaulted and raped. I don't care. It just is not going to happen. That is absolutely crazy. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And I went and I made sure that I had a paper trail with local law enforcement. And it didn't matter if they took a report down, but I know they had to report when they showed it to an address. I know they have to report that. So, and then here on the channel, I've discussed it. So, every which way that this individual has tried to project onto me and come towards me and speak lies about me, I have something to back up what I'm saying. But I also have my integrity that I can fall back on to say, no, you don't get to escape and say, well, it was just a joke. You don't joke like that. That's not a joke. Rape is not a joke. You didn't misspeak. Someone didn't mishear you or misunderstand you. You intended to do great harm to me, and you intended for great harm to be done to me. So you could wash your hands and say, see, she deserved what happened. And it's a very dark thought when I, speak of this. It's just a very heavy negative energy, and part of the way that I deal with this is to talk about it and to understand that other people's motivations and intentions are not mine to deal with. But I do address them clearly and concisely so that should anyone decide to follow the advice of people like that and not do their own investigation, they deserve judgment right alongside the person who spoke it. And so moving away from that situation and cutting off all modes of communication him and anyone connected to him can have with me has absolutely liberated me and freed me from all of the dramas and imagined dramas and everything, all the insanity and just abuse and narcissism in the family dynamic. I no longer have to deal with him. I just deal with my life. I live my life and I'm happy and I enjoy my career. I enjoy my creative time. I enjoy my community, where I'm at. I enjoy, fresh air, outside, just being in nature and being at peace within myself, knowing that I did the best that I could in that situation. And when it was time for me to complete the lesson that I'd learned there, I completed it and I walked away with my head and my heart intact, and where I needed to heal, I've healed. And even now, I still have people that are like cliffhangers hanging on. And this is another aspect to leaving and rebuilding yourself. That is part of that choice to heal, is that even once you leave and you're rebuilding yourself and you're moving forward, you are still going to have these people that are just refuse to see your value and refuse to acknowledge that they are wrong, that they have done anything wrong. And they will send people towards you that are just like them, that they believe can fool you into ruining all these new opportunities for yourself. And my example on this one, and if you're an artist, you might understand this. So I have a art website where I sell my originals, my prints, and some of my prints as images on coffee cups and towels and just various household items, office items as well. And I received this email from a lady that was wanting to collaborate. And I bet everything. I don't just jump into anything because I'm not thirsty for money. And as I started researching her, it clicked into, I was led to a New York City botanical shop, and the images for that website were very artistic and design and graphic, and the graphics were very colorful. There are certain pieces of my artwork that I use really vibrant colors on, because those are pieces that are used in art therapy, and I enjoy creating pieces that help people to connect with what is inside of them that they can't necessarily, don't have the words to speak about, so that if they can connect what they're feeling with a physical symptom in their body, then they can see a connection between what they think and feel and what transpires and what happens in their health, right? And to me, those pieces are extremely therapeutic, but they're also full of a lot of happiness as well. You know, the happiness of being able to connect, you know, those realms within ourselves that so often we're told are disconnected and may have been disconnected internally by experiences in our life. And I find that when you can connect the dots, you're much more likely to heal. You're much more likely to take accountability and hold yourself accountable. And you're much more likely to make the necessary changes that you need to make in your life to cement a better path and a better outcome for yourself in life. So this lady sends me an email and is, you know, like giving me a whole bunch of hot air at the beginning about how my work is inspiring and da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And as I'm reading it, I just thought, okay, so what's the point? And then she is saying that she wants to collaborate with me on images for a project she has. And her budget, you know, she tells me that she hopes that I'm willing to work with it. And so when it says 2.4 ETH, all in capital letters, I think, oh, great. No, thank you. And then she mentions an NFT. And as soon as I read that, I said, definitely, absolutely not. I do not do NFTs, I do not consent to NFTs of my art. And so I, of course, responded back to her that I would not be a good fit because I do not do NFT art. And I wished her good luck in finding a more appropriate artist for her project. And if I can tell you that the attitude that I got back in her email was just straight up pissy, like the most pissed of the pissiest. And I thought, what in the world? You don't even know me. And I didn't even, you know, say anything towards you except for no. And so in the back of my mind, I had this tickling sensation. So I thought, okay, I'm going to look this person up to see if this is an actual real person. And the second time I looked her up, I got the original platform that came up the first time, but something told me, no, that's not who this is. So then I looked this person up by name, and it took me to her business page, and yes, she is into NFT, but when I looked at the prices of these things, I was like, oh, no way. And as I was on her business page, I thought, I wonder who her friends are. So I looked through the business page, or I looked through her friends section because it's public, and lo and behold, what do I find? She is friends with my ex's daughter's mother, who has been aggressively slandering me. And I thought, oh, so you thought I was really stupid. No. And, that is how intuition works. It will tell you things in ways and formats that you don't understand why sometimes. But if you follow the pebbles and the stones and the raindrops and the wavelength of where it takes you, you will always find the solution to the problem, the resolution to the problem. And most often you will discover that what you perceived is real. Because when I opened her email, I perceived someone like literally licking my boot to be able to destroy me if I was dumb enough to take the bait. And I had no idea why I had that imagery in my head. Absolutely not. When I discovered that she is friends with this individual that I just spoke of, I said, okay, that's why. Because this is not coincidence. This is not happenstance. This is someone that was sent my way to take my art from me, so I can't make a living with it, because the number one thing that my stepdaughter's biological mom has done has been to attempt to claim that I'm not employed, that I don't have a business, that she's a successful businesswoman, and I just had accomplished nothing in my life. So, do you see the crazy dynamic? You're saying that I'm not doing anything, but then you're attempting to destroy what I have done, so then you can look like you are right. I mean, how psychotic is that? That is absolutely asinine, to think that I'm not going to be able to spot that and fill that out. And, of course, when I discovered that, I just started laughing, because I had to laugh, because it's funny. One person, and you go to all these links to destroy my financial life. It doesn't tell me I'm weak. It tells me that you're a weak-minded person that wants something from me that you will never have. So I share that in the hopes of reminding you that when you've made the choice to cut all threads, all modes of communication off, and you're focusing on yourself, you will find the strength within yourself to laugh off these mundane things that people do that are just weird and strange. And the more that you do that, the deeper the chasm will become between you and them. And it'll be cemented by the bricks that they've thrown. Because every rock that they throw is a pebble in the wall that separates you. Absolutely everyone that's been thrown. And if you view those kind of situations like that, it becomes much less stressful and a little bit humorous. Humor always helps in, stressful times. It always helps when you're dealing with some weirdo that's projecting their own insecurities onto you in the hopes that you take them up as your own when they're not yours. So, have a good day, everybody, and enjoy the time that you have. All right. I will see you on the next video.